Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Today is December the 13th, 2023, which means that today I've not drunk or used drugs for 21 years, one day at a time. It's 21 years of continuous sobriety or recovery for me. Someone of one of the many beautiful messages I've been sent, and thank you for those messages, said, "Well done on letting God keep you sober for 21 years. And that's a really good way of putting it, because I think, if you're a person that's drinking or using or has drug issues now, or if you love someone that has drink and drug issues, the idea is that it takes some kind of fortitude or strength or some sort of willpower. Why can't they do it? They just don't seem to be able to stop drinking or using. And those of us that are members of the recovery and sobriety community deal with that complicated idea that it sort of doesn't really take strength. It's not like you resist drink and drugs. It's like the desire to drink and use is somehow taken away, or at least you are given some vital pause. What is it that provides us with that? What does it mean, a spiritual solution to the problem of drinking and taking drugs? Now, obviously, I've had an incredibly difficult time lately, and without recovery, I don't know what I would have done. It's a sort of miracle to be able to go through personal challenges, to deal with other people's views and opinions, to deal with the complexity of life, because life continues when you stop drinking and taking drugs. What's amazing about recovery, the principle of recovering the person you're intended to be, is it means that you are no longer living your life primarily on material lines. You recognize that your own fears and desires, your own preferences can no longer be the coordinates by which you live, that you have to live a life of dedicated service. That does not mean perfection, but it does mean living according to principles and values. And that is where I've found myself, in a sense, not through choice, but through surrender. Primarily, I suppose, when it comes to one of these recovery birthdays, what I want to express is my gratitude to all the thousands, beyond thousands really, of men and women that went before me, that showed me that there was a path. Because were it not for, in my case, 12-step recovery, I would still be drinking and using. I can't cope in this world without drink and drugs or without a connection to God. And I can't achieve the connection to God without the principles that I've been taught by the men and women that went before me. And indeed, the men and women that surround me now, even in times of crisis, condemnation, judgment, times of incredible fear and doubt. And I know that's not personal to me. I know my problems are nothing compared to the things that you go through. I know there'd be people watching this that have broken hearts, that have lost children, that are dealing with pain and anguish that's impossible to describe. But whatever happens to you, you don't need to drink and use if you become a member of a community that live according to these principles, if you develop a connection to a higher power of your own understanding, if you're willing to acknowledge the errors of your past and make amends to them in an appropriate way. It's possible to live free one day at a time. It doesn't mean that you are granted access to some constant utopia, but it does mean that you live with a set of values that allow you to navigate the complexity of this world. If you are someone that is drinking and using, there is a way out of it. There is a way out of it. The pain, the shame, the desperation, the things that I felt made me drink and use, even though, of course, on occasion I drank and used when I was upbeat or happy or joyous. There's a way out of it. If you know someone that's addicted to drugs or drinking uncontrollably, there is a way for them to change as well. This program, the program of the 12 steps, of which I'm just another ordinary member, is an astonishing miracle. People work it around alcohol, people work it around drugs, people work it around food and all sorts of behaviors. People work it around debt. It's an incredible mode of living. And fundamentally, it's predicated on the idea that the self has been a kind of weary and befuddling construct, that if I can let go of the idea that the most important thing in the world is what happens to Russell, what Russell wants, insert your name there, then I can experience one day at a time a different type of freedom. So thank you, all of the people that have helped me on my journey of recovery. Thank you, all of the people that have sent loving, supportive messages. And to those of you that still have problems with drink and drugs, or still have problems with reality, still have problems dealing with this world, and feel now more than ever that we're in a time of crisis and change and deception and hypocrisy and contradiction. There is a solution. There is a solution within you, and it's really easy to find. When I say easy, what I mean is it's not complicated, but it is also very, very challenging. It's very challenging to live a life of authenticity and integrity, and we all slip up along the way. But whatever challenges you may face, a life of sobriety and recovery is always, always easier than a life drinking and using drugs, because we cause less damage to ourselves, we cause less damage to others. We're able to be, in my case, a husband and a father and a pet owner and a friend and a responsible driver. This is a solution that is available to all of us. At a time where it seems like all of the solutions we're offered are about opposition or acquisition or some kind of set of values and principles given to us by a culture that, it seems to me, doesn't care about us very deeply at all, that doesn't have any real values. What institutions do you feel you can trust now? Do you trust the state? Do you trust the media? Who do you trust anymore? Well, there are people in this world that are living according to very, very high principles indeed. Principles that are transcendent of a culture that at the moment seems like it is not our friend, that wants us controlled, corralled, castrated, lost and confused. There's a way through it. So if you are drinking and using, there's a solution for you. Of course, I'm prohibited from naming it directly, but it's pretty clear what I'm talking about. Whatever problems you have, there's a solution for you if you're able to find it in yourself to surrender to something that is present at depth. For me, it will continue to be a one day at a time recovery, because that's all I can handle. But if I can handle it, certainly you can handle it. Thanks once again for the beautiful messages. Thanks those of you that went before me on this path. Thanks those of you that walked the path with me. I believe that it is possible to change yourself and to change the world one day at a time. Stay free, wake up together, and thank you.